Acts 2:14-36. Once the Holy Spirit fell upon the Christians at Pentecost, he gave them courage to tell others about Jesus and share the gospel story of his death and resurrection. This was especially true of Peter. Remember, after cutting off the ear of the high priest's servant, Peter's bravery melted into fear at the arrest of Jesus. Peter became so afraid for his own safety that he denied knowing the Lord 3 times. Without the Holy Spirit, his courage didn't last. But now, filled with the Holy Spirit, Peter's courage was strengthened, and he was ready to tell everyone about Jesus. So right there, in the midst of all the excitement and confusion, while the disciples were speaking in different languages, Peter stood up and he spoke to the crowd. "Listen carefully to me," Peter said. "These men are not drunk, as you suppose. It is only 9 o'clock in the morning. What happened in front of you is what the prophet Joel spoke about." Then Peter quoted from the book of Joel and said, "In the last days, God will pour out his Spirit on all people. Sons and daughters will prophesy. Young men will see visions, and old men will receive dreams. God's Spirit will be poured out on all people, even servants. God will do great wonders on the earth, and everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved." Peter boldly proclaimed the gospel. He said, "You remember the miracles Jesus performed while he lived among you? You saw them. It was God's plan to give up his son to die, but wicked men nailed him to the cross and killed the Lord of glory." But that was not the end, Peter shared. Death could not hold Jesus in the grave because it had no power over him. God raised Jesus from the dead. Peter quoted Psalm 16, and he told the crowd, when David said God would not allow his Holy One to see corruption, he was talking about, who was he talking about?
Jesus?
Jesus, that's right. King David died, but he saw ahead to the day when God would set one of his descendants on the throne. David foresaw the resurrection of Christ, and this Jesus, the one you crucified, is the fulfillment of all God's promises. What a difference the Holy Spirit made in Peter's life. He went from being afraid of a serving girl at Jesus' arrest fearlessly challenging the men who helped put Jesus to death. It happened just as Jesus said when he told the disciples to wait and they would receive power from heaven to be his witnesses, first in Jerusalem and then to the rest of the world. We can see Peter certainly received that power as he talked about the good news of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection to the crowd. Peter's fear was gone, replaced by courage from the Holy Spirit to tell everyone about who?
God.
About God, about Jesus. That's right. So what is Peter telling everybody about? The resurrection. Yes, about Jesus. And how did the Holy Spirit change Peter since the night the rooster crowed? Do you remember? What did he do the night the rooster crowed? He was kind of scared and running away, huh? But now what is he doing?
Telling everyone about him.
That's right. He's telling everyone about him. That's good. The Holy Spirit can make us brave to tell people about Jesus. Thank you, guys.